Okay, so we're back. Welcome again to the Resident Evil 2 remake playthrough on BrainScratch Commentaries, or at least
On SGB,
I
yes.
think it's a Resident Evil 2 commentary. It could be a discourse on voice acting unions for all I know. I
Well, at least
apologize
we're not
again.
talking
Well,
about.
that's one for that could be the subject for one part. It could be something else completely different. We've been doing this for how long, and we're still apologizing for
I just
not actually commentating on what's
I
actually
just feel a
happening in
bit
the
bad for
video.
just deadpanning my way through the one of the only different parts of the Leon playthrough, which is the dog kennels, which are actually pretty creepy when you're playing through them blind. Although since
The
this
day we spend an entire commentary staying on topic is the day we should dismantle BrainScratch comms.
I'm pretty sure we've done
Because
that at least once or twice.
No, yeah, I think all the Sonic stuff we stay on topic for better or worse.
that for worse. Definitely for worse.
Okay. Point is, we stay on topic,
Maybe.
and we're still here.
Somehow.
But should we be? Should we really?
Yes.
Okay.
These are the questions to ask, yes.
No, well, you see, the Let's Play / commentary channel has been slowly dying in the last few years, so by virtue, if we just keep going at this long enough, we'll be the only ones left.
And then we'll have a
And
monopoly.
then we'll get all the subscribers. Yeah, well, then we'll have a monopoly. And I'll be the first to call Baltic Avenue.
What?
Don't underestimate the purple properties.
Nobody. You can't even really.
Exactly. Nobody ever buys them, leaving me free to pick. Which
Yeah,
means
and then
also the
nobody
easiest
ever
to put
lands on
houses
them
a-
because they're like at the very beginning of the board.
always the
You
right-
can't even
they're
land
right
on the
after
first
go.
one because you
They're
roll
right
two
after
die.
go. See, I love the face people make when they pass go. They get $200 and they land right on my.
Oh no,
Baltic
and then they
Avenue that
lose
has a
only
hotel on
40
it.
of them. Oh man. Oh, that's so much money.
No, I think a Baltic Avenue with a full hotel on it, I think is where.
Hold
it's
on.
like,
I'm sure there's a Monopoly wiki.
It's
I-
100 something or other.
Yeah,
I don't know.
a monopoly with.
I'm really glad I went to the trouble of boarding up these 4 windows on this hallway because they start trying to bust in at around this point. There's a couple zombies in here just in case you did do that, but you know.
You need to have 4 houses on it in order for it to go to 320. All right, you have to, and
So what about a
a
hotel?
hotel is 450.
Okay,
So yeah,
that's more than double what you get from Go, so it's worth
yeah,
it.
but why would you ever put hotels on Baltic Avenue? Because they're
Again,
expensive to
This
buy.
is why games never finish a monopoly, because everybody wants to put houses and hotels in the green properties and boardwalk.
Games never
and
finish
park
in
place.
Monopoly because people are punching
takes
each
too-
other before you get to the end.
It
You
also
gotta set
just
your
takes too
standards
damn
way
long.
too high.
Look,
The real money's in the lower end properties.
okay, all right. Look,
He's not
I mean,
wrong.
not according to the Game of Fortune sheet we played.
He's not wrong. That's basically what fast food is.
Yeah.
So, you know,
you
listen
know,
to this man.
well, let's just have a competitive.
No, actually don't.
Let's have a competitive game of Monopoly, and then we'll get more angry at each other than we ever have at Mario Party. You know I'm right.
I mean,
I think
yeah.
if that would be the case, or Risk.
Oh, Risk is boring and dumb. Like, Risk is Monopoly, but you don't understand the rules, alright? Like, here's the thing. Monopoly and Risk are both dumb, boring, long games that nobody ever has any fun playing, alright? I hope that's not too controversial a
Well,
statement.
without using house rules, I should stress, for a Monopoly.
Well, I mean, Monopoly, everybody having their own set of rules is a different problem. But the point is that everybody knows how to play the general flow of the game. You know, it's not that complicated.
Everyone
I
knows
don't
it so
think that I
well
could-
that they don't even know what the actual rules are. They just know the house rules.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Do any of us even know how to play Risk?
I do. I played it years ago on PS1.
It's not easy. For setting the thing up takes like an hour in and of itself. And it's like there's so much rule funneling and it doesn't make any sense and it's just dumb and bad. All right, if you're going to play Risk, then you might as well just like I don't know, burn the board and use it for warmth or something. Because
I
you
just
get
want
more
to play.
enjoyment out of that.
I just want to play the game of life once more before I die, because like that board.
Everybody's already playing the game of life.
That board is awesome. It is the most awesome thing, and I don't mean like the cheap versions that they make nowadays. I mean the one where it's like this big old plastic thing with slopes and stuff.
The
That was
best part
cool.
about the game of life is the spinner, because that thing is just so much fun to just go like.
The entire game board used to be awesome, but in recent years they've just made this cheap one on a stock generic flat board, and the only thing they kept was the spinner. Eh.
I don't think I've ever had like the 3D Life game board, and we played that game a good amount growing up. I
used
mean,
to
Life
have
as a game isn't that interesting either, because it's another one of those you just hope you land on good spaces kind of games. But,
like
you know,
Mario Party.
Yeah, basically. So
I wonder if there's a reason.
Yeah, but less
for that.
Mario Party is less depressing.
well, Life is the kind of game where like you hope to get the mobile home or something like that because you pay less each month when you have to pay rent or whatever because you live in a mobile home. Whereas if you get like the luxurious mansion, you're like, oh god damn it, because now you're gonna have a harder time for the rest of the game and you get no real benefit from it.
Isn't that like what real life is like?
Yeah, but at least the large mansion, the water is clear when you turn the faucet on.
What kind of mobile homes are you shopping that they don't have good water?
Most of them.
Okay.
They're not
speak
known
from
for
experience.
particularly good living conditions.
Well, yeah, I'm aware of that, but the water is a new one on me. I mean, I've been in some pretty cheap housing that has perfectly fine water.
Not in Flint, Michigan. Hi-oh, I hate our country. Sorry.
Oh, Michigan. That's your problem. uh, I'm creeping around really slow-like because I forgot that Mr. X isn't here yet. So I'm like, okay,
No, don't even hear the footsteps.
I should be quiet, but...
Is there ever a point where you can see him before he sees you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can enter the same room as him, and he might be in a different elevation.
Or his back is turned to you or something.
Will he, if you shoot enough at him, will he ever, like, fall down?
He'll get stunned, yeah, but he'll always get back up.
Yeah.
So there's no way to, like, knock him out even temporarily or anything like that.
You can knock him out for like 10, 15, 20 seconds, something like that. But he just sort of gets down on his knees and doesn't react to anything for a little while.
Okay.
It's a hell of a lot less payoff for your bullets than you used to get when you fought him. Because if you took the time to fight Mr. X rather than just tanking a hit and running past him like a sane person, you would you'd get ammo from him. Usually a little more ammo or a little better ammo than you used to take him down.
But you don't get anything for doing that in this game.
No. And that makes me worried for Nemesis, because one of the coolest things in Resident Evil 3 was the way you could get items by taking down Nemesis optionally. It's a really hard thing to do. It's like way harder to do than it was for Mr. X. But like, if you took him down, like the first time, I think, or the second time, you'd get the first set of gun parts, and then if you took him down X number of times after that, you get the second set of gun parts, and then you could upgrade your Magnum
Yeah,
or whatever.
X.
It just made you feel cool, you know? This big hulking Frankenstein monster with a rocket launcher has been chasing you around the entire game, and the story's playing him up as like he's this huge badass. And in gameplay, he absolutely is a huge badass. You will have a hard time taking him down. In fact, he will probably kill you if you attempt to fight him. But if you manage to take him down, you get rewarded for it. Not just with bragging rights, but with actual in-game benefits. So... Like, sometimes he drops the first aid case as well, which is really useful.
What does that do?
It's a case that contains 3 first aid sprays in one slot.
Oh, okay.
By the way, Leon's a heavy motherfucker, so this ladder breaks when he tries to climb it. Doesn't happen for Claire.
Well, maybe if he didn't wear 60 pounds of riot gear that he's not taking advantage of, it wouldn't have broken.
It's that RPD stands for really pretty dense.
Ah, you see, it's a double pun because it refers to his weight as well as to his brain capacity being limited.
Nah, Leon, I never got the impression of Leon being Chris stupid.
Leon was always fairly smart.
He was just kind of naive.
Yeah.
Well,
Boy, he
being dumb and
outgrew
being
that.
dense are two different things.
Ah, the RPD. I was waiting all day for the refrigerator parts, dude.
Chris. Chris, why are you here? Because I got all D's in high school.
I'm just imagining this as the conversation they have in Resi 6 when they're holding each other at gunpoint.
They hold each other at gunpoint. You're 10 years late.
At least I'm actually still doing stuff, Chris.
This door was boarded up when you were playing as Claire. Why it's not boarded up now, I have no idea. It's a bit of a homage, though, because this is the general area you would come into the police station from in the B scenario originally, and if you tried to go back out the door, what would wind up happening is a bunch of zombies would burst through, and yeah, it's a waste of ammo. Don't do it.
It's also the only door in the game that would load the zombies like that.
Yeah. Someone lose a key? Someone's an asshole. Why not just call up the person who owns the key and say, "Hey, I found your club key."
Because obviously the Raccoon Police Department is full of passive-aggressive assholes. Because we saw one of them in the prison where he's just like, "Can somebody please fix this power generator?" And it's just like, okay, well, why don't you fix the power generator instead of...
Let's not forget the asshole who hid the spare keys and the other asshole who broke the keypad in the first place. Or maybe they're the same asshole and it was all some big game. In any case, we find the club key taped to an out of the way goddamn. Someone swiped the key and hid it here, didn't they?
Probably.
Were they playing a scavenger hunt on their coworkers?
No, they're playing zombies in college, except it's real.
It's because this is a rural ass police station with barely anything to do, so people are just so bored they come up with this shit to pass the time with. I mean, the only interesting thing to happen in the last 20 years was those cannibal killings.
How boring does a town need to be for that to be the most interesting thing to happen?
I mean, that's pretty interesting.
It's not necessarily, like, good, but it's certainly interesting.
As it happens, there was an article about the realism of this police station, an interview with an actual police officer, and he did say that like in rural towns, people will just use whatever building is available for the police station, so some of them can get a bit weird. I think I've seen at least one or two built police stations that look like they were just, ooh, hi Mr. X, that looked like they were just thrown together inside of a random ass building. Nothing as elaborate as an art museum, though.
You see, I remember when I was in elementary school, they took us on a field trip to the police station. And from what I can remember, it was like a pretty normal building. But they locked us in the jail for a couple of seconds, and we all freaked out, which was fun.
What, did you all steal free balloons on Free Balloon Day?
No, but they stuffed like a good 20 elementary schoolers into one prison cell. And then they were just like, okay, we're going to show you what it's like in the prison cell, and we're going to lock the door. And then we were like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And then they locked the door, and we were like, ah! So, yeah, that's what my childhood was like. And getting arrested was the most fun thing I did that day.
Ouch.
In
I mean,
any
to
case,
be fair, this was like second grade, so I don't think anything really good was on TV at that time anyway. So, you know.
Well, I mean, second grade, that was what, like late 90s for
How
you?
old would you be in second grade?
7 or 8.
7 or 8. That would be 2000 then, most likely.
So SpongeBob just came out.
SpongeBob did just come out. That's a good show. Although that actually might have been the summer where Fairly Odd Parents came out, and they played the same episode about the one where Timmy becomes a cool kid, and then he gets put on trial, and that was like the only episode they ever played for like a month in summer, and it was the only thing that Nickelodeon had on TV, and I was really, really upset about that because it was like the only thing on TV, and so whenever we were watching Nickelodeon, I would actually hope that it was Nick Jr. because at least it wasn't that one stupid episode of Very Odd Parents.
sounds about right. Man, Nickelodeon had something going with that Avatar crap. They went and ruined it.
Good animation and writing costs money.
I feel like there really aren't that many shows anymore that are cartoons specifically, I guess, left trying to go for like a long-running, more serious-ish kind of show like that.
Well, because everything went to streaming services.
I mean, I guess that's true. The only other one I can think of is, what's that show? Steven Universe. And even then, that show never gets new episodes because apparently Cartoon Network hates it or something.
Cartoon Network hates a lot of things that aren't Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Well, to be
too.
fair, to be fair, I've been hearing they've been getting slightly better with it.
It's a shame too because Teen Titans Go is kind of funny when you separate yourself from all the baggage of it being the replacement Teen Titans thing.
It's extremely up and down is the thing. You have one episode where they're all just making fart jokes, and the other where they're actually, poking fun of the whole Raven's Trigon's daughter thing a lot.
Yeah, but the good episodes are really good. Oh well, that's life. Sometimes you have to run from a Frankenstein monster, and other times you just can't find good cartoons to watch on TV. Both just
Mr.
about
X
as frustrating
probably.
because, like, right now I'm, like, slowly creeping around the police station and I really want to be darting left and right. Where is he?
Any other context, Leon would just be like looking for his car keys that he dropped somewhere with this walking animation. He just looks it looks so weird when you play games where they're just like doing the normal ass walking animation. I don't know how to really explain it, but it's like there's no urgency here. Like Leon, you could hustle a little bit,
Or you could at
It's
least
like-
creep and look tense. That's a thing you
He's-
could do too.
He's just like, like, yeah, there's probably zombies here. Whatever. I wonder.
Well, I mean,
what's-
the zombies are everywhere, so that's kind of a safe assumption.
It's just like, I wonder if anybody left anything good in the fridge.
Well, at this point, you'd probably be pretty hungry, wouldn't you?
Especially with that biker guy with the trucker with the big burger. I could go for a burger right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I know Leon now didn't technically in character didn't see the burger, whatever.
I'm trying to remember what exactly I'm trying to get to at this point. I'm like...
Well, we're back in the police department now, right? Why are we just looking for another way out?
I don't know. At this point, we're kind of just looking for key items. Oh, we're looking for the electrical parts, but I'm not sure why I'm going in this direction. Is what I meant.
Oh, right, you got the club door.
Oh right.
Not the heart door, the club door.
Thankfully, Leon doesn't have to deal with a licker who bursts through the mirror, because he comes in from the other side. So it's the implication is that when Leon gets here, Claire has already been. So even though her heart key door is locked, the mirror's already broken. So you can just hop over, grab the items, no muss, no fuss.
This is the last Resident Evil game until like 6 to try to do the multiple stories kind of thing, right?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, 3 was just Jill Valentine with a bit of Carlos in the middle. 4 was Leon, and they added the Ada storyline as an extra later on. 5 was Chris, and you could play as Sheva on your second playthrough, or if you were playing multiplayer. The Revelations games kind of had this sort of switching characters as the story progressed thing going on, but it wasn't all that great.
The sluice.
What's
The only thing I remember about those games.
Yeah. Resident Evil 6 was the first game since 2 to have multiple player campaigns.
Is that something that people wanted back, or because I mean, even then, Resident Evil 6 wasn't really like the 1 and 2, where it's just like these characters are mostly the same stories, but
Well,
it's
I
just
liked the
different.
idea of having multiple characters. It probably would have been would have been better received in an actual horror game. But it is what it is. I do like having the multiple campaigns in 6. Does give the game quite a bit of content. But in 6 it's a bit different because the different campaigns have different gameplay focuses, and they also go through different areas. Like Leon's is the somewhat creepier one with the zombies in it. Chris is the generic shooter one, and Jake / Sherry, I always play as Sherry because that stun baton is fucking amazing. Sherry's and Jake have the everything in the kitchen sink campaign where there's a lot of weird stuff going on in the gameplay. I'm not really sure what they were going for with Sherry and Jake. It's a fun campaign, but I'm not sure what to call the focus. It's not survival horror, and it's not creepiness. It's probably the most, batshit insane campaign of the 3. And that's saying a lot, because the other 2 are pretty crazy. Oh, and then there was Ada. Yeah, Ada was a thing in that game as well. I haven't finished Ada's campaign. I'm sorry, I just don't give a shit about the character.
Wait, you mean just in general or in 6?
In
specifically?
general. In
general,
fact,
okay.
Ada Wong in Resident Evil 2 Remake is the most I've cared about Ada Wong since she was invented. Okay?
Like, I mean, she doesn't really have a lot going for her. She's there to be mysterious and make sexual innuendo at the least sexually appealing man in this Capcom franchise, at the very least. I was going to say in Capcom's repertoire, but then I remembered that nobody will ever have sex with Dante, so I can't really say that. I suppose Leon is like 2% more likely.
No.
To get.
There is sexual appeal to
Leon
Like
has a
what?
lot of women who, in this series, are crushing on him. You know?
Yeah. I think sexually active is probably more accurate to.
So yeah,
describe Leon.
Mr. X breaks through the same wall that he did in the original game, but in this game, because we have all this realistic movement and crap, when he busts through the wall, he actually creates a shortcut for you. So you might want to trigger that sequence intentionally, because it's not as big a deal, I suppose, as Leon, because he has this shutter here, but if you're playing as Claire, you can't open this shutter, so this is a big dead end over here. You don't really have an alternate way to get back up to that room. Like, there's a shortcut up top from the clock tower, but not from the bottom floors. So depending on how you want to attack the police station, you might want to have Mr. X just break down that wall and create an additional route for you. He's very helpful, Mr. X.
Watch him just punch down every wall to give a shortcut to everywhere.
Thanks,
No,
Mr.
you
X.
lead 'em-
You're welcome, Leon.
You lead them to the front entrance, have them knock the door down, and then you just take off and right into the sunset.
The true
Yeah,
OTP.
Yeah, he just gets on a zombie horse and rides off as Western music plays.
It's so obviously the same coding that they used for Jack Baker in Resi 7, where he breaks down one of the walls in the opening areas, though.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. Reuse stuff as you need.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, since I played the games sort of close together, it was kind of obvious to me.
Would it be any less terrifying if it was just a 7-foot tall Jack Baker?
It would be a little more terrifying, because Jack Baker was actually kind of smart.
You were also in a much smaller space in the Baker house.
Inventory
considered, anyway.
upgrade.
Fanny packs.
Man, double the fanny pack, double the power.
Right. I just needed to refresh my memory as to what lockers actually had stuff in them. It's 208, 102, and 103, if I remember correctly. That and 203, once you got both keys.
Why does everybody never close the caps on these gunpowder jars?
So
I
that
don't
you know that
know.
there's gunpowder in there. What, do you want to just
You can just
take
open the
the
cap and find that
can's
out.
word for it, that it's gunpowder? What if it's actually cheese whiz in there?
You know, in a game where you can examine items at will, you can just open the cap.
That is
Maybe
a-
the game went through the trouble of examining it for you.
That is the thing. That is the thing, though. Like, when you would, like, in the original Resident Evil, when you found, like, an ink ribbon and you examined it, you would actually open up the ink ribbon. And
Was there ever anything in that, or...
no, it's just a thing you could do. Resident Evil 1 didn't do a lot with the whole examining items thing. It just had 3D objects because that was impressive at the time. Of course, they stopped bothering with that when Resident Evil 2 happened, and up until Code Veronica, the games just had 2D images for the items. Code Veronica brought back the 3D objects that you could rotate in the inventory, and then I think Remake and Resident Evil 0 started doing things with them. The evolution of the Resident Evil series is interesting to look at. I shouldn't have gone this way.
No, usually a bad idea. Bad idea. Just run. He sees you.
Present hall pass.
I'm the hall monitor.
Oh, great. Somebody gave a 12-year-old a badge, and now he suddenly thinks that he's RoboCop.
Now he's God.
Can't follow me now, can you, big guy?
Burst through the wall. Fuck.
No, he doesn't even.
Present hall pass.
He doesn't even need to do that. He just needs to walk through the room with
I'll
the.
have to take you to the vice principal's office.
Oh shit!
Vice Principal Bonehead.
I didn't realize he caught up to me that quickly.
Is
Nobody here but us.
everybody
Nobody here
there?
but.
Nope.
Nobody here.
Just listen for his boombox audio.
Nobody here but his curtains.
Yeah, there you go. There's a Mr. X mod I want. Everybody's quick to do the DMX mod for Mr. X. I want him to carry a boombox playing his theme. And he also just does nothing but moonwalk everywhere.
Okay, see, now I'm imagining Mr. X standing outside of his ex-girlfriend's window, wanting her to take him back, holding up this boombox, and ominous music comes out. But she's still just as touched by
okay.
it as you would by, like, having a power ballad or something. And so she's just
So that's what-
crying to it, you know. It's just like, oh, he does
So
care.
that's what the that's what the X stands for.
What does the X stand for?
Well, you say he was trying to get back with his girlfriend.
Oh,
so
Mr. Ex-boyfriend?
that would make him an X.
Mr. Ex-boyfriend? Huh.
Yeah, that would make him an X.
You're not wrong, but
It's okay. Don't overthink it.
okay. So I'm like, okay, where do I go from here? I managed to shake Mr. X. He's on the other side of the building, I hope.
Opens the door. Doom, 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 brrr.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. I had some really bad luck with Mr. X during this segment of the game. But I was going about this the entirely wrong way, too. You see, I was trying to get to like the club key door over here, I think, so that I could get the crank. Guess who?
Oh.
Oh, hey there. I've been looking for
Present hall pass.
Oh, Jesus. I tried to run past him while he was...
Okay, I think you just got the tail end of his animation lock there.
Jeez, I just want to go to the bathroom.
Hall pass.
Okay, I'm still in yellow caution, so I should be fine. I can take one more hit, I think, before he kills me. Right? Oh, no.
Ow.
No.
Well, yeah, you did take one hit.
Now I need to heal.
And now there are zombies
not
behind.
looking
And now
good.
there are zombies behind him.
Hey, why don't you ask where their hall pass is, huh?
They're undead. They don't need hall passes.
Oh, and now the lickers
Need a
are
liquor.
after me.
Yeah, that's right.
God.
This is a really unfortunate hallway to fight Mr. X in, yeah, because you got so much shit
Fuck.
in
Get-
this hallway.
Off me, you stupid... inside-out brain motherfucker.
Oh.
He came up behind me. Son of a
just going
bitch.
nuts.
Oh.
Yeah, just go through the door.
I'm
You're
dead.
dead.
Yeah, I'm dead.
This is a short playthrough, wow.
I hope you all enjoyed the Resident Evil 2 playthrough where Leon doesn't make it to the train and Claire and Sherry get eaten by Birkin at the end. So, yeah.
The uplifting story for the ages.
Okay.